Kambwili is the very personification of embellishment. Chita embellish when Kambwili says no, this is not 2020, this is not 2004. Makebi steps up and he says, I am Edgar Lungu's choice. Makebi, without paper, don't shingle batter. Butter, not batter, butter. Boom. The aircon is in the way. I woke up this morning. Hey, everybody. I think I'm 3 minutes late. Is that something? You do the best you can sometimes. It doesn't always work the way you planned, but I'll tell you, as long as you make the effort, put one foot in front of the other, and you may get results that way. But if you sit in one spot, not a thing's going to happen, boy, I tell you. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I know it. I'm late, but hey, I'm trying to change that about my life. Honestly, I am. Where's my phone? I'm one of these people. I love a shiny phone screen. Tell me in the comments if you like a shiny phone screen. Phony means fake. Right. Let's get into it real quick. Guys, oh, by the way, did I tell you, before I finish that sentence, I have to share this with you. I woke up this morning singing an old song, a song I heard when I was a kid. Train arrived, 16 coaches long. Train arrived, 16 coaches long home. And I'll name my baby Train. That's Namwinga. Come in. Right. Namwinga. Yes, sir. All right. Are we winning? That's what? Here. Just here's good. Thank you. Thank you. This one here. And then you can take this plate here. And then the tea you can put on there. Thank you. You guys, have you ever heard that song? I think it's called 16 Coaches Long. And the Grammy goes to did I tell you where I bought this? I'm a big fan of ornaments. Anybody that knows me knows that I love ornaments. At the risk of coming across like a hoarder, which I have decided this year. I heard Sylvester Stallone once say, the older I get, the more things I accumulate. Who wants a room full of ornaments? I'm trying to live a minimalist life. You know that phrase, minimalist? My son, we have 4 children. I got 2 boys, 2 girls. Our youngest son, he's really big on minimalism. He always says to me, Dad, there's too many things on that desk. You got 10 items on your desk. All you need is one. Minimalist. So I'm trying to live a minimalist life. It's not always possible because, I love aesthetics. I love the way things appear. But I woke up this morning with that song. I did. And I also woke up this morning to some, on a tragic note. I was very sad to hear that my friend, someone I've known for many, many years, by way of association, Clive Shamana, recently passed away, and I was very sad to hear that. Many of you know the Proper Burger mobile little restaurants. Well, Clive owned those, and if you've never had a proper burger, then you've never had a proper burger. And this morning, as I was getting up, I was brushing my teeth, and my wife said to me from the bedroom, she said, "Did you hear Clive died?" I said, "Which Clive?" She said, "Clive Shamana passed away." And I was very sad to hear that. And our sincere, deepest condolences go to Clive's family. We love you, Clive. Thank you. Guys, a few shout outs to you. I know, first of all, what I need to do is to make absolutely certain, to make doubly certain that my broadcast is clear. That's the first thing I got to do. And then I'm going to do some shout outs, for goodness sake. I really am. Guys, what do you think?
And if you've never had a proper burger, then you've never had a proper burger. And this morning,
there you go.
As I was with Clive. Thank you.
Guys, I certainly don't want you to think that I'm one of those people that loves the sound of my voice. I don't, the only reason I do this is to make absolutely sure that we're on the same page, is to make doubly certain that you and I are on the straight and narrow. I've had it to where I'm talking and I think I'm live, and I try not to read the comments when you're doing a live broadcast. Live broadcast 101. When you're doing a live broadcast, it's okay in the beginning, in the preamble of your broadcast, to every so often glance down at the comments. Randy DeJean, I see you. Who is that? Grievance, I see you. It's okay to make reference to the comments every once in a while. But once you get going, once you've got that, you're on a streak and you've gained momentum. The Americans say momentum. The British say momentum. You've gained momentum and you're doing your thing, you're doing some hot stuff. It's never a good idea to look at the comments because they will break your train of thought. People in the comments will just say something that will just throw you for a loop, throw you off sort of course, and then you start talking about other things, and you never want that. Okay, now why did I bring that up? Somebody tell me in the comments. Why, oh why did I bring that up? I don't know. Right. Mishek says, you sure don't love the sound of your voice. Oh dear. You know, that frame is doing my head in. Honestly, it is. All right, let's get going. Okay, let's get going. Indeed, let's do that. Before I do that, just so you know, I have a bowl of fruit for breakfast. I'm not going to chew because the other day, one of y'all chewed me out, no pun intended, for eating on screen. And at the time, when I was doing the live broadcast and I was chewing, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I didn't think there was anything wrong. There was anything wrong with chewing on screen and doing a live. One of the comments said, don't chew on a live. And I responded, I retorted, I sort of rebutted. I said, what's wrong with that? It was only when I watched the video that I realized it is the most unsightly thing. It is the most inconsiderate, unsightly, grotesque, dare I say repugnant thing to do is to chew while you're doing a live. That's disrespectful to the audience. So I do have the fruit, but I'm not going to chew on the live. Let's just be clear. All right. I do have some tea though. Can we do that? Can we do the tea at least? For goodness sake, my throat's dry. Come on, guys, give me a break. I'm going to stand up here. I got my little monitor thing that I've connected to the mic. So I'm going to stand up here. Just give me a moment, will you? It won't take forever. Just relax. Right. All righty. Have you heard the news? There'll be some rocking tonight. I'm just pouring in the tea. Have you heard the news? There'll be some rocking tonight. I'm gonna hold my baby just as tight as I can. Because tonight I'm gonna be a mighty, mighty man. Have you heard the news? There'll be some rocking tonight. All right, there you go. There's the tea right there. I got it. Don't worry. Relax. We're on the straight and narrow. All right. Guys, can we first of all talk about Chishimba? That was my chair, by the way. You hear that? That was my chair. Because, on Facebook, you have to explain every sound. Otherwise, people will misunderstand you. And then you'll be overtaken by events. Chishimba Kambwili, on a very serious note. Chishimba Kambwili. You know what I find interesting? I find it curious that anytime the opposition wins any seat anywhere, oh boy, tell you what, they burst out in a crescendo of praise. We done did it. We vanquished the giant. And they celebrate, left, right, and center, and they talk about this, that, and the third, and they scream on the highest mountaintop that they have vanquished the ruling party. But the moment they lose, the moment they miss the mark, the Word of God says, miss the mark. The moment they turn out less than, oh, they scream bloody murder. Oh, they stand on the highest mountaintop and say, oh, this is unfair. What an injustice. Where is democracy? Democracy does not live here. We are living in a totalitarian state. We can't live, we can't function in this system. The moment the opposition loses a seat, any seat, oh my goodness, they just lose their minds. You guys remember, Chawama, I don't even know who won Chawama. Who was that? The UPND didn't win in Chawama, but guess what? Democracy won. Why? Because the results in Chawama are a reflection. They are a microcosm of what the people of Chawama want. And that is what it is. We have to embrace it the way it is, because we understand that in life you can't win everything. It's never winner takes all. It's here a little, there a little. You win some, you lose some. Ebb and flow. The Word of God says, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. But you got these opposition jokers, namely Chishimba Kambwili, whom I must tell you, disclaimer, I get along with the guy, I do. I disagree with his style of politics, though, I do. I disagree with everything that he stands for in as far as the type of information he tries to disseminate to the public. Oftentimes when Chishimba Kambwili takes the stand, he does so from a very tribalistic, vengeful, spiteful point of view. Chishimba Kambwili does not do politics of engagement. He does not do politics of checks and balances. His style of politics is embedded in rancor, malice, and resentment. Kambwili's politics is the very personification of bitterness. There's a Zambian word. There's a word we Zambians love to use. We love to use that word. He's bitter. Bitter, 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 bitter. We love to say that. And when you hear a Zambian say, oh, he's bitter, what that means is he has refused to accept the situation as it is. Chishimba Kambwili and his homeboys and his posse, his compadres, have absolutely refused to accept that the Hagainde Hichilema and his homeboys are now running the show. They are now serving the Zambian people. Can I, for a moment, just digress and talk to you about the way the politics were conducted over there in Kasama. Now, notwithstanding, there's no such thing as an incident-free political event. However, there are some events that are less dramatic than the others. In Zambia, we say others. Did you see what characterized the politics in Kasama? The UPND showed us it is possible to have a political race without all that violent political drama. Not saying that it was incident free, no. But it was not the way it used to be. That one, my brothers and sisters, we must accept. Just say it in the comments there. Whether you disagree or agree, can we at least agree? Kuti, the politics in Chawama, the campaigns there, the politics in Kasama, the campaigns there, I mean, they were nothing like what we've witnessed in the past. I mean, that is a big plus. That is a big plus that we must celebrate as a people. But these chaps, Mawe, did you hear what Chishimba Kambwili? Chishimba Kambwili was on a radio show. He was sitting right next to Stephen Kampyongo. Did you see that clip? Tell me if you saw that clip. He was sitting next to Stephen Kampyongo. And you know Chishimba Kambwili exaggerates a lot. He embellishes. Why should I embellish? Kambwili is the very personification of embellishment. Bala chita embellish babu fi elio bala bika mo ngababika mo muchele elio babika mo nombe mpilipili elio baposa mo nomba soda elio yo soda yali ibela very unique soda ngabale ipika. When Chishimba Kambwili is cooking up a political story, the soda he puts there is so unique that it takes an explorer to discover the source of that soda. He was on a radio show where he was trying to narrate an incident, according to him, that took place in Kasama. Kutino, Tuaria, the Kenino Babulia Mabue. The Kenino Baba to Pepe Bali to Pepe Kabale for to Payamre. He says, no, when we are there in Kasama, these chaps, these UPND guys, they came with stones. Now, is it possible for that to happen? Oh, absolutely. Because kadas are kadas. My only query is, if indeed that happened, two things. Number one, I would, in this day and age of technology, there's no such thing as a political event where people don't record. This is not 2020, this is not 2004. This is 2026. And let me encourage you, wherever you are, during the elections, let me encourage, everybody should become a vlogger, not blogger. And let me digress here for a moment and just give you a very quick lesson. There's a difference between a blogger, B, and a vlogger, V. A blogger is someone that writes articles and then posts them on the internet. A vlogger is someone that records videos and then posts them on the internet. Therein lies the difference, okay? My encouragement to all of you, as we are now approaching the 2026 elections, record everything. Whatever you see, record it. You've got phones. Just be conspicuous. Just you know, when mwamfaka kachongo, muna machiteni ama kadazi echi wafumya watch the record, and then mwatutumina ama mulomo yoka mulomo ala kwa tudiba mulomo kuno. Just videotape, send it to me, send it to Kalemba, send it to Mwebantu, whatever you record as we are going into 2026. Kufi kopa fionse mwafi kopa, mwafi posta. So that ubufi bakambwili batweba ifwe pantu sometimes babufi. Let's just be honest. When Kambwili says no, wale hoku tuipa. That is possible, but in this day and age, a political incident cannot occur without someone recording. Show us those videos. And if indeed there was violence perpetrated by the UPND, lock those chaps up. Lock them up! Because that is diametrically opposed to the stance and the position of one Hagainde Hichilema. He has repeatedly said, you are on your own when you perpetrate violence. You are on your own when you become belligerent. I don't even know what that word means. It just popped in my head. Belligerent? Just ungunacho? So in my view, and did you notice the way Bakampyongo was looking at Chishimba? Somebody please, could you attach that video in the comment section? The video where Kambwili was narrating how they were brutally attacked by the UPND, which is possible for all intent and purposes. That's possible. But what I'm saying is, please provide us with the video evidence of that happening. And if indeed that happened, those perpetrators should be taken to task. They should be brought to book. They should be thrown in jail into the sea of God's forgetfulness, and we forget they exist. Simple. But did you see the way Kambwili was narrating the story? Bekele is sitting next to Kambwili, and you could read the expression on Kambwili's face. Kambwili was looking at the Kambwili saying, Negro, that didn't happen. Negro, you know good and hell well it didn't happen the way you're talking about. Negro, have you lost your cotton picking mind? I've heard of embellishing, but you put the letter E in embellish. Did you know? Tell me you noticed that. Tell me you noticed Stephen Kampyongo's body language in relation to what Chishimba Kambwili was saying. You could read it on Stephen Kambwili's face. He could see it. It was clear as day. He was basically saying, I've heard of lying, but you put the letter L in lion. Negro, that didn't happen. You see, this is what we're dealing with. Desperate times call for desperate measures. These chaps, they'll do anything to convince the public, to mislead you, to bamboozle you, to misguide you, all for the purpose of gaining a vote. Brothers and sisters, that foolishness of the highest order. Don't follow these politicians. Oh, all right. Makebi Zulu. Oh. Where do I even begin? You know, honestly, when I think of Makebi, it just gives me a headache. It does. It gives me a headache. Makebi Zulu gives me an aneurysm. OMG, honey, OMG, OMG. Makebi steps up and he says, I am Edgar Lungu's choice. This is his campaign. This is his tagline. Have you ever heard of a more unoriginal political tagline in your life? I have lived 56 years, and I can tell you quite conclusively, in all of my years of living, I have never, not once, ever heard of a political tagline as tepid and as weak as, no, me, I'm ECL's choice. ECL's choice, Kwisa. Makebi, without to be puffy. Don't shingle butter, not batter, butter. Don't smear butter on our faces. If ECL did not choose you whilst he was alive, how is he going to choose you in his death? And let me tell you, any politician on the PF side that claims Kuti he was the choice. You see, these people don't understand that ECL was in it to win it. ECL did not have any successor in mind. ECL was purely focused on returning to the seat of power. There was not one iota of intention in his body, not one fiber of grit and gumption that was designed to prepare and groom an alternative leader. That was not on his agenda. Don't lie to yourselves. He was the be-all and end-all of the PF. He had no foresight beyond himself. So anyone who says, no, me, I'm the chosen one. Lero muimi atiyo asalire. Kwisa mwempanyamwe ubufifya weka. Kuti no, I'm the chosen one. Just accept. Edio your tagline yo muifumiepo makebi umfafyondekwa machwanda. If you go into the 2026 elections with that tagline, Kuti, you are ECL's choice, that is going to be, it's going to leave a very bad taste in the mouths of your would-be supporters. You are insulting them by saying that. You just stand on your own steam. A falsified endorsement from the dead, a fabricated endorsement from the grave is not going to help your bid for the presidency. Ooh, that's a mouthful there. God just dropped that in my heart. You know, sometimes I shock myself. Honestly, I do. I mean, where do these lines come from? Comes from above, I guess. Michael Jackson used to say that. You know, people would ask Michael Jackson, how did you write Billie Jean? He'd say, well, I don't know. It just comes from above. Anyway, but I'd share that with you guys. God bless. Yeah, Richard Chilonde. Chilonde says, Kampyongo looking at Kambwili as though CK was a pig smoking a pipe. Arabwafia. From the morgue, Baini. Brian Manyando, Baini. Arabwafia. Ama politics. Ama politics teyakwangirira. Teyakwangirira. Balapena abantu, apena fye, atingere kuya uyo wilioyo. Ele kwa yo na yanempanga. Chinshi ati yo na apena. Chinshi my politics. Anyway, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. You know, when I do this on the street, this is a salute sign. This is a salute sign. But when I do it on the street, they think that this is a UPND sign. Sometimes I'll do this, I'll fist bump, and they'll say, no, I thought that to the apple. I said, listen, man, relax. It's a fist bump. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to have my fruit now with my tea. God bless. Bye. Yeah, moi, tichala shimeji.